Today we're making a whimsical YouTube intro for my dear friend, Paola. She was very specific about what she wanted to include in her YouTube intro. She wanted it to be colorful, expressive, and filled with vintage-inspired illustrations that reflected her personality. For the first frame, she originally wanted it to start with Paola Vision Presents in a bold font, but ended up changing it to this, and this font is called Dirty Lux. For the illustrations throughout the video, she wanted a Super 8, the Mayan pyramids, a rosary, a clown lady, a chair and guitar, and a carnival ticket, all in that specific order. A cute small detail is that the numbers here are actually her birthday. The YouTube intro was going to end with the carnival ticket to put the credits there, illustrated by me, song co-written by Paola, and song performed, mixed, and mastered by Danny. Paola and Danny worked closely together to make the song come to life, and it turned out perfect. This process involved plenty of testing and refining. It was a lot of trial and error, but once it was officially done, I made her a tote bag that had her carnival ticket and a sticker pack. And now flip your screen to see how the YouTube intro turned out. Alright, let me know what you think. Everyone go subscribe. Bye!
Open up Canva and then create a new custom size, and it's going to be 1920 by 1080 pixels. Once you're in, you're going to go to Elements, and this is where you want to pick what background you want to use. You can use anything. If you have photos in your camera roll that you want to use, or you pull something off of Google, that's fine, but I just use everything from the Canva Elements. So I think I looked up pink background, and you're just gonna go to see all. I don't have Canva Pro, so everything that I used is free, and I believe it's this one. Once you plop that in here, you are going to want to do set image as background, and it'll make it fit to the whole thing. For my channel name, I decided to go with scrapbook letters, and a lot of them are behind that pro feature, but if you just go scrapbook letter K, for example, it'll give you some options and you could just keep scrolling. Once they're here, you could resize them and you could group them together, so you could move them all together. That's kind of good. I'm just going to keep it short, so I'm just going to do my nickname. For the decorative things, I just look up scrapbook, and you go to graphics, and you kind of just pick whatever you want. I know I used this heart in my thumbnail. I used this one in my intro, and then you kind of just keep plopping things in here. I used this piece of tape as well, and I kind of just put that in the corner, but it's up to you. Just have fun with it. Honestly, when I made mine, there wasn't really a theme. I was just plopping down things that I really liked, and I somehow just really went hard on the whole scrapbook look. Here's a sticker that I really love. I used both of these, I believe, and they're free. I love putting things in the corner because I never know what to do there. And a fun thing you could do is, if you click that, you could do see more like this, and it'll give you kind of a relevant aesthetic. So I've used a lot of these already, so I'm just going to finish mine. This looks pretty bad, but this is where it gets really cool. So we're going to add the animation now, and what I do is I select my text first. I'll kind of give you guys an example. Once you've selected that, you're going to click animate, and for my text and a couple other elements on this, I choose scrapbook, so that's going to be right there, and it kind of gives you a little preview, so it all comes together there. So that could be left on that scrapbook animation, but if you wanted other things to be animated a different way, then you could select whatever ones that you want to be different. So for example, the plane, the cat, this heart, I'm gonna animate it, and maybe I want it to do a rise instead of the scrapbook, and it kind of plays all of the animations together. For the rest, I'm just going to do scrapbook and I'll show you what it all looks like. Once you've done all your animations, you could check the playback button in the top right and see if you like how everything came together. So everything on the outer corners I did scrapbook, the text is scrapbook, and then these little things are, I believe I did rise up. Once you're happy with it, go ahead and export it and download it onto your phone or iPad. I plop it into CapCut for the sound effects. Here are the sound effects that I use that you could look up on CapCut. They are free sounds. I hope that was helpful. My next video will be about my thumbnail.
Make my YouTube intro with me. Super excited. You know I'm pretty creative, so I think I have a good idea in mind. Let me show you. Okay, I drew this the other day because it's supposed to be me in a bikini. My handle is Beach Blonde Mermaid, so we're gonna bring her to life. Okay, I'm gonna use this Dvid AI website and try to prompt it to like look more alive and walk. I'll show you the video that it gives me when I'm done. It made the video. So now I'm gonna find a background from Pinterest. Okay, I found it. It's just like simple and it's really me, like what I would want. Now I'm gonna go into Canva, add them together and like do all that. Okay, I'm back. That took a little bit. So now I'm gonna add the text and then I'm done. I'm all finished. I'm so excited to show you. I think it turned out so good. Okay, I'm so excited and that's it. Bye.
One thing about me is if I can do it, I'm not paying nobody to do it. So let's go make my YouTube intro. I saw this little thing on TikTok by this creator and I'm gonna tag it down below. I'm gonna give everybody credit because give credit where it's due. I'm gonna try to recreate it in my own little way for my YouTube intro because right now I don't have an intro. Usually I just do like a little rewind and then the video goes. And that's go. So let's do it now. So the first thing I did was try to find a background. This was kind of hard because I didn't know Canva had some. I have Canva Pro, by the way, so if you're trying to do this, definitely pay for Canva Pro. At least cancel it after you're done. But 2 different types of papers just so it gave the effect of like the paper was crumbling. And I actually wish I did more than just 2 different types because before the end of the video I feel like it looks too matchy in a sense. After I picked my paper, then I started on my YouTube title, which was just my name, and then this is what I'm gonna hide under all the stickers that I pick. At the bottom you can see 2 tabs. These are the 2 different papers, so you're gonna take the name or whatever and then you're gonna copy that onto the next one and just move it around so it gives the effect that it's like moving. So that's what I did here. The stickers you see moving everywhere, you're gonna go on Pinterest and you're gonna find something with a white background that has to do with your YouTube channel, which was what I did. After you do that, you're gonna go into Canva and you're gonna find a blank slate and you're gonna put all the pictures that you had and you're gonna put them all on this blank slate. I'm telling you, this is so much easier. It's gonna save you so much time. After you lay all these out, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into where it says elements on Canva and you're gonna pick a texture. Use the paper texture and like another texture to give it like a grainy look. After you do that, you're gonna go back to the original document, export that in, and then it will crop it out for you if you have Canva Pro. After you put all your stickers where you want and you want them to move out, there's either 2 ways you can animate it: by hand or you can have Canva do it for you. I did it by hand because the effect that they had wasn't necessarily what I wanted to look like. What you're gonna do is you're gonna alternate between the first and second one and then just move them one by one, literally for a few slides until it literally gets to the edge of the screen. Now, if you don't want to do that, you want to do it faster, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to animate. You're gonna choose the elements that you want to animate. In this case, you're talking about the pictures, those stickers in the sense. Once you have the elements selected, you're gonna go to animate and you're gonna click scrapbook. Give the effect of like a motion picture type thing, and you're gonna go on exit, so you're gonna have them where they go and then they're gonna move to the end of the screen. I also add the animation of wiggle so I can have them like float around, but that's when they get to the edges. I personally didn't do the animated thing by Canva because I wanted to have more control over how the stickers moved, but if you are a beginner, I recommend you do that and just use the animation tool. This is the end result I got after all of that work. It literally took.
I got a lot of questions on how I made my intro for Vlogmas this year, and I did use CapCut, so I'm going to show you guys exactly how I made it. So the first thing you're going to do is go into Pinterest, and what I did is I just looked up a sweater wallpaper image. You're going to use that for your background. Then you're going to search up icons for Instagram, TikTok, whatever platforms you want to put, a subscribe button, and then something to put behind your name. Then you're going to go into CapCut. I do pay for CapCut Pro, so some of these things are only going to be for pro members, but you're just going to start a new project and use whatever image you chose for the background and then go ahead and add text. I just started with my name. You can change the font, the color, but then you're going to add the type 1
one animation and then just adjust it to however long you want it to be. And as an overlay, you're gonna add whichever picture you chose to put behind your name and then click on remove background. This is a pro feature, but there's a whole bunch of free websites that you can use before you add it as an overlay. Then I turned down the opacity so that you could see my name on top of the image. Now for the image, I'm gonna go to animations and do fade in, so that way it fades in around the same time as my name is typed in. Just start looking a little something like this. Then I'm gonna do add text again. I'm just gonna put Vlogmas 2025. Again, you can change the font and then just move it to the bottom corner. Now I'm gonna go to animations and just type in Christmas. I chose something with a little sparkle to it just to give it that like Christmas vibe. Then again, you're gonna add in an overlay of the subscribe button that you downloaded, remove the background and then resize it, add an animation and do click open. And then for the out animation, I just did sticky note. And again, this is what your video should start looking like. Now I'm gonna do the page where it has all of my socials so that everybody knows where to follow me. Stay connected, and then for the animation, I'm gonna do wave in. Now you're gonna add in all of your social media icons, and again, remove the background and then resize it and put it wherever you want on the screen. I just added text and put my username, add the fade in animation and fade out animation, and just time them so that they're all fading in and fading out at the same time. And you're just gonna repeat that for all the rest of the icons and users. Now I did get a lot of questions for how I add music and sound effects. If you're doing monetized content, then always choose commercial sound. If not, you'll get a copyright notice. I just typed in Christmas and chose a Christmassy sound. Then I went into sound effects. The first one I'm gonna do is the typing sound for my name. I'm gonna make sure that it starts at the same time that my name starts typing, and then stop it where it stops typing and split it and delete the rest. For the Vlogmas 2025 text, I just chose like a little jingle bell sound to make it more Christmassy. Then I just went over to the next part where it says subscribe. For the sound effect, I usually use menu select if you want to search that one up. I personally like that one when I want like a mouse click button, and then just line it up to when the animation clicks on the subscribe button. Next, for stay connected, I wanted to do kind of like a swoosh sound. I really tried to match up the sounds to what the animations are. And then export at 4K 60 frames per second. And now you should have something like this.
Hey girls, so I am going to show you how to make this very cute 2000s YouTube intro. It's actually very easy. I think for the most part, all of these options that I used are free. I do use CapCut Pro, but I'm pretty sure all, if not most, of the animations and text and whatever that you see here are from the free version. So you don't even have to pay anything, girl. So first things first, we're going to start with the backgrounds, the title cards. Very easy. All you need is Pinterest. So on Pinterest, I like to look up early 2000s wallpaper, or because I knew I wanted something like stripes, I would just look up pink stripes wallpaper, yellow stripes wallpaper, whatever. You can just look it up, whatever your vibe is for your intro, look it up on Pinterest. Most of them do appear in this like vertical portrait mode, which is fine. Honestly, I saved stuff like that anyways, and then I just changed the orientation to landscape or horizontal so that way it could fit into my YouTube video. So all you need, girl, is Pinterest and a dream. So I'm gonna show you basically the recipe for it, which is going to be video effects, the title cards, which you're gonna get from Pinterest, stickers, text and animation, and transitions. That is all you need. So we are going to start with this video effect. If you see here, I put two of the same title cards or backgrounds right next to each other. Why you need to do this is because when you use a video effect like this one, the video effect will edit the entire clip. So if I had put it on here, this cell phone wouldn't be opening up like that and then switching into the title card. It would be opening up while all of this is showing up, which is not what we want. We want to create the illusion that ring, 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 the phone's opening, and then boom, we are into this first title card. I just put in whatever wallpaper I chose from Pinterest, and then I went down here to effects and then video effects. Right now on CapCut, there is a Valentine's tab, which I love because everything's hearts, everything's cutesy, and that is where you'll find this pink flip phone. But of course, if that's not your vibe, they have a whole bunch of other video effects that you can choose. I just like this one because it's super duper cute. So So that's what I chose. That is what makes it open up like this, and boom. Now we're going into the title card. So first thing I'm going to show you on the title screen or the text screen is how to do the text. So first thing you do is add text, which I did. I added, oh, it's adding another one. I added test sample just to show you. And then I went down here to fonts. And I just go to classic. I think just something basic, simple, and cute, just to maintain a sense of continuity throughout the title sequence. That's why I went with Playfair Display, I think it's called. Let me see. Yeah, Playfair Display. I think it's cute. I think it says early 2000s. We love her. Next thing you do from here, after you choose whichever font you want, is going to animations. Animations is basically going to animate the way the text enters the screen, exits the screen, and what it's doing while it's on the screen. So over here, you're gonna see in, out, and loop. In is how the text enters, out is how it exits, and loop is what it does while it's on the screen. So I wanted something simple, bubbly, and cute. So for in, I chose bounce in. This is a pro feature, so if you don't want to use that, there's also a ton of free ones, but I like bounce in. I think it's simple, I think it's cute, and just to maintain that continuity, I have bounce out. For some reason, bounce out is not on pro. I don't know what the difference is, but again, you can choose whatever you want. There are tons of free options, so nothing has to be on pro. You don't have to pay for anything if you don't want to. And then for loop, I chose something simple like jiggly, and that's how the text looks with the animations. Now, the stickers. Stickers is so fun. Honestly, I never utilized this, but I was like early 2000s, all I can think of wall decals. So I had a vision, and luckily that vision was made possible through this option right here, which is stickers. And then for my search, I put in daisies because nothing says early 2000s like a daisy, I feel. So I chose this one. It's a free option. I like the white border because it literally looks like a decal. So that is what I chose. And just like the text, you can also animate the stickers. So you just click that little circle in the corner that you saw, and there again is an in, an out, and a loop. So for the in, I wanted it to have the same thing as the text, which is a bounce in, so that's what I chose. For out, I chose bounce out, and then for loop, I chose jiggle. So that way the decals do the same, or the stickers do the same exact animation as the actual text, like that. And it's super cute. Next, we're going into transitions, which is basically how you're gonna transition into the next clip or photo, whatever. So you'll see these little white squares here. All you gotta do is click on it, and then you choose a transition. Again, I am loving the Valentine's Day transitions because they're so girly. Like, there's so many hearts, everything's pink, everything's just super girlified. I'm just gonna choose a random one like that. And you'll see this is a free option. You don't have to pay for it, girl. Now you have something like this. Boom, there's your text sample. Of course, you can add clips in between the title cards like how I did. And when you are done having fun and customizing everything, you should have something that looks like this.
Let's film a new YouTube intro. I like the one I have now, but it's a little long. I want something shorter. And it's always good to keep it new, keep it fresh. So this is my setup. I'm just gonna like sit at my vanity, and I have some props. I have a vision, okay? And then I'm gonna upload the footage to my iPad and edit on that. And I'll show you the results at the end. Okay, let's do it.
Another side on me, I like to get it poppin', but these bitches in my business call me ultra choosing biters. If you see me out in public, you don't know me, keep it silent. In the bedroom, I be screaming, but outside I keep it quiet. Got another side on me, I like to get it poppin'.
Real shit.